Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, the 14th of September, 2016. The time is 1700 hours, 16 minutes. GMT minus 6. It's DebraVWilson, just outside of Janesville, Wisconsin. And if you hear background noise, it's because I'm again recording in public. This will be another short taping, and the title of this podcast is Women Peacebuilders. I dispute the narrative that security models and peace-building models are two separate entities. In fact, I think peace-building is a feminized, in quote, construct of security, and security models are a masculine, in quote, construct of peace building. So with that in mind, looking specifically at women peace builders and how we're constructed and the narrative about us, I'd like to reminisce a little bit on CSW 59/Beijing +20 2015 at the UN. I had the good fortune of attending and spending part of International Women's Day celebrations in New York in 2015, and I attended a myriad of events and talks. And one of the talks and discussions was given by a group of feminists, a grassroots group of feminists who identified themselves as peace builders. One of the speakers, a young woman of about 30, early 30s, late 20s perhaps, spoke about her network. And in her network, she had other peace builders. She had feminist activists. She had people who were defined as peace activists. And she also had people who self-defined as paramilitary fighters. And the particular country in which she focused, which I am intentionally not naming, she talked about the necessity of having a wide and diverse network, and if she was to be successful in her peace building, she talked about the necessity of being able to speak with a myriad of people, numerous personality types, if she was to accomplish her mission of peace, of helping to facilitate peace in the particular context in which she operated. At the tail end of the 1990s, I lived in Dundalk. And after I left Dundalk, I returned to the States. And for a period of time, I used to get, on a regular basis, phone calls from a gentleman that I became aware was a former IRA fighter, paramilitary. He was part of the peace agreement. He agreed with the peace agreement, and he stood down from his role as a fighter. I remember telling him that this was the tremendous psychological judgment I had about fighting in general, and the tremendous psychological judgment I had about living in an environment at the tail end of the Troubles, definitely, but still engaging in war, as wars often do wind down slowly. And I remembered him over the phone almost laughing and saying to me, well, who exactly is it that you're trying to get to the peace table? He knew that I defined myself as a feminist, and a feminist who was a peace builder. And a feminist, at that time, I never used the word security. And I said, I don't know what that means. He said, who exactly are you trying to get to the peace table? Other feminists like you, other women like you, or people like me? If it's people like me, which he said, I'm thinking people like me, then you're going to have to learn how to navigate through situations. This situation, he said, was unfortunate for you, but nevertheless, if you're a peace builder, he said, what all you're doing is coming up with an alternative modality of security. He says the same thing. We looked at achieving goals and security one way. He said we being the IRA and the British. He said Peacebuilders, he said it's the same thing, security, but you're just taking a different approach. It took me years to understand what he meant. It took me years to look at other feminist peace builders as, yeah, peace, security, pretty much the same thing in terms of actually what they're trying to accomplish. Over the years, because of my travels and activism, I also have a wide and diverse network. Some of the people are persons that self-identify in much the same way in which I identify. Feminist, a woman, a peace builder. Some of the people, they would never identify themselves as peace builders. Nevertheless, over the years, they've been very helpful in helping and informing me and fine-tuning my skills in terms of how and to talk to different people, how to understand different world views and perspectives. And it also reminds me again and again of the former paramilitary man who said to me and who asked me, who exactly are you trying to get to the table? As I'm in the process of planning some different things and places of where I'll do my studies, what type of studies I will be doing, and the spaces in which I will occupy. I look forward to continuing to grow from an academic perspective, from a feminist perspective, from a strategic perspective, as a woman who is a peace builder and who builds security models. I also look forward to engaging with other persons like myself who I think have an expansive understanding of peace/security and who grasp the concept that women, whilst we might in some instances conceptualize attaining peace/security from a less than militaristic perspective, we nevertheless still, those of us who are out in the field working, and those of us who are having any successes, no matter how minute and how fleeting, realize that we have to have a myriad of people in our networks, a diverse set of people in our networks, and we need to understand a diverse perspective and diverse worldviews. This is DebraVWilson, just outside of Janesville, Wisconsin. It's the 14th of September, 2016. And